As the White House faces multiple questions on whether the U.S. will recognize the Taliban as the official government of Afghanistan.
Recognize the Taliban?
No, that's a long way off.
There's no rush to recognition. It is really going to be dependent on what steps the Taliban takes. I don't have a timeline for you. It depends on what behavior they exhibit on the ground.
Former Brexit Party leader Nigel Farage joins me now. Nigel, thanks for being here. Appreciate your time. Let's go ahead and pull up on screen here. 4 Gitmo detainees released in the Bowe-Bergdahl swap end up getting high-ranking positions in the new Afghan government. I mean, you're looking at these faces on the screen now, and I just question, do you think ultimately the U.S. and other countries, for that matter, end up recognizing the Taliban? And if so, what does that mean for international relations?
Well, I noticed that when the White House were questioned about this, they didn't give an answer. You know, will you recognize the Taliban? And extraordinarily, Boris Johnson on this side of the pond said that he thought this was a different Taliban to the one from the 1990s, almost as if he was saying it's a new woke Taliban. I don't believe a word of it, but it looks to me, although both of our governments, despite having fought these people for 20 years, despite people like Mr. Haqqani now being Minister of the Interior and a wanted terrorist for the FBI, despite all of that, it seems the narrative now is if we recognize the Taliban, we can work with them against ISIS because they're even worse. So I think we're on the verge of doing it. Yes, I do. And I think it's a huge mistake. But of course, when you think about it, I mean, the Taliban now have $85 billion worth of up-to-date modern U.S. military equipment. It makes them very dangerous indeed.
Why do you think, though, we should have any reason to believe the Taliban when they say, work with us, or if they're saying, to the point you just made, work with us, and if so, we'll help you against ISIS? I mean, why should we believe anything they say?
I don't think we should believe anything they say. And in fact, there is plenty of evidence to suggest that, number one, the Taliban is not a disciplined force. You know, people are out there acting as vigilantes with impunity. And secondly, that, you know, the number of reported murders, and I'm talking about people who worked as interpreters for the Americans or the British, being dragged out of their houses in places like Kandahar and murdered in the street in front of their families. There is so much of that evidence that has built up over the course of the last 2 or 3 weeks that there is no way that the Taliban have changed. No way at all. Yeah. And if we're going to make the mistake of thinking, well, you know what, they're not quite as bad as ISIS, I think we're in a very, very bad place. Honestly, I do.
Now, former British Prime Minister Tony Blair just ripped into President Biden over this withdrawal. Take a listen to what he had to say.
America has decided that for the foreseeable future, it is a very limited appetite for military engagement, which gives our allies anxiety and our opponents a belief that our time is over.
I mean, look, while this withdrawal was happening and through August 31st, understandably, all eyes were on the United States to see, are we going to be able to accomplish the mission? What are we going to do next? But all eyes are still on the United States. So what do you think the United States should be doing now?
Well, they're very strong words from Tony Blair. They really, really are. When you think about it, you know, Biden came to the G7 here in the UK. America is back. And they all said, oh, isn't it marvelous? We've got rid of that nasty Mr. Trump. We've got Biden. It's all going to be great. Actually, what Biden has done is taken America back to total isolationism because not only has he offended us, the British, and we do have a very special relationship, he's called the whole future of NATO into doubt. Nobody, I mean, honestly, nobody could trust the Americans right now in terms of getting involved in any military engagements because clearly he's not a man of his word. He made promises at the G7 that he broke with the unilateral withdrawal from Afghanistan. And so America is isolated and friendless. And America may well be a big, strong, powerful, rich country, but everybody needs friends in the world. So I think, you know, the irony is that the so-called internationalist Democrats, actually, they're the isolationists. And it was Donald Trump who was constantly reaching out, constantly on the telephone and traveling the world, pursuing what was actually a very successful U.S. foreign policy.
Yeah. You know, it's scary to think of what the world looks like if the Taliban is recognized. So if that were to be the case, what does that do to the world? What does that look like to you?
Well, I think already the fact that the Taliban can say, hey, we've just beaten America, America have gone tail between their legs. The fact that they're saying that already, I think, gives great comfort to terrorist organizations all over the world. And there is no good going to come out of this. I think that the Western world may well pay a price through terrorist reprisals for many, many years to come as a direct result of this very, very badly executed decision.
Wow, that is such a dark thought. Sadly, though, it's a realistic thought right now. Nigel Farage, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.